Good news and bad news go hand in hand, and in World of Warcraft especially, those two things are married. Let's start with the good news first. We have a whole new dungeon, Demonfall Canyon, and it's amazing. Massive amounts of item rework, so many new ways to build, so much itemization and fun. New runes, especially the ring runes, they're amazing, allows for more flexibility and play, and so many new endgame fun activities to do. The endgame is upon us, and we finally get to enjoy all the level 60 content and all of its glory. But the bad, and that is PvP servers and Blackrock Mountain, and just how cancer it is for so many groups of people, mostly Alliance players. It's probably the singular worst thing in Phase 4, and it's a very bitter thing for a lot of players. So I'll cover that later in the video, because for now, we have to cover all the juicy good content, and there's so much of it. So sit down, get ready, we've got a lot of bullshit to bullshit through. The most major change so far is being able to finally hit level 60 and unlocking the amazing endgame world of classic WoW. From all those massive dungeons, Strapholm, Skolo, BRD, UBRS, LBRS, Dire Maul. So many endgame dungeons and activities are upon us. You get to go into them, grind, group with your guildmates and your friends, hug if you want to, and enjoy the world in all of its amazing glory. For so many people, they get to go into the world in Quest, EPL, in Winter Spring, and other zones, and just enjoy the classic world and ecosystem, what it's meant to be. This amazing, ginormous, beautiful world with so much to discover, so much to enjoy. Even if you've done it all before, it's always fun doing it once again after so much time. Personally for me, I love the Eastern Plaguelands, one of my favorite zones. Nice grind, nice fun, just a good batch of content right there. But on top of that, we have the amazing new dungeon Demonfall Canyon, where you get to go in there and fight the Spirit of Grommash, or in this case the Phantom, a Mirage, a bastard boss that is difficult, which requires your group to get together, actively partake in the mechanics, and just enjoy this new area and ecosystem for the amazing fun that it is. Nobody was really expecting a new dungeon in Phase 4, so the fact that we got this is actually huge news, and I'm very happy about it. But it also makes me think, we got one new dungeon, but what about more? They use incursion technology to create this instance location in the south of Ashenvale, and if they can do that, imagine what other dungeons they could create, what other parts of the world they could make new dungeons, new raids, new world bosses. There are so many little things that they can do that actually has me very excited. They could technically unlock the Caverns of Time and turn that into a dungeon. We unlock most of Caverns of Time later on, but with the incursion tech right there, they can do anything they want. Any part of the world could be a dungeon or a raid. They just have to dream it and make it a reality. So that's got me excited for Phase 5 and onwards. Who knows what the devs are cooking? But I hope to God they're in that kitchen stirring that pot right now. And talking about instance locations, we have the world bosses. They're going to be out in just a few scarce days, and people are going to eat them up. We have Azurgos and Kazakh, two iconic bosses, amazing brand new loot table that people are just excited about and interested in. I can't wait to kill them with my guild every 3 days on cooldown, enjoying that juicy loot. Technically it's every 3.5 days because there's 2 lockouts per week, but you guys get what I mean. And then, a week after the launch of the world bosses, we get Molten Core and Onyxia. And not just that, we get an 11th mystery boss, amazing new gear, Tier 1. So much amazing content is coming our way that we're going to be eating good for months upon months at a time. This isn't going to be like Phase 3, where shit hit the fan, we ran out of content, there was nothing to do, and incursions killed the open world. Phase 4 does not have that issue. So Phase 4 is looking goddamn bright, and I am super excited to enjoy all of this content. On top of that, we have all the new profession gear, all the craftables, making people need to grind Timbermoor Hold rep, or grind Thorium Brotherhood rep, or Hydraction Waterlords. So many of the professions in the world, so many of those reputations, just weren't worth grinding or doing because the gear was meh. Sure, there might have been one good piece here, there, an enchant here, a consumable there, but for the most part, people just didn't really do them aside from the sweatiest of sweaties. But now in Phase 4 and Season of Discovery in particular, Timbermoor Hold does some amazing craftables. Ardent Dawn has some amazing gear. you need those enchants from the Argent Dawn, for example. So when you consider this entire combined open world now being alive, people all across the world grinding and enjoying this content, Phase 4 is the most alive side has been since essentially Phase 2 and Phase 3 did things to the world. I'm not going to cover that in this video, but everybody knows it was pretty goddamn bad. But Phase 4, it's like Phase 1's resurgence. It's going to be great. At least I hope so. Let's check back in 1 month and let's see what I'm saying then though, shall we? And moving on to the final new amazing endgame content, we have the Blackrock Eruption event. Some were excited about this event, some people were hyped about it, but there was one negative connotation to it, the PvP. Now before I touch on to that, the PvE of the event, it's fun. It's a nifty little event where you can go in there, kill mobs, do your dailies, get the rewards, turn them into upgrade your profession gear so you can get higher fire resistance gear. So across the board, it's not actually bad at all. But that is one half of a point, because the other side is terrible. And that other side, the bad side, is the Blackrock Eruption's Blackrock Mountain PvP angle. And that angle is brutal, bitter, hard, harsh, oppressive, depressive. I'm running out of words to say here. But across the board, it's just not the greatest system. Now, if the player base weren't as griefy as they were, this wouldn't be a big deal. But the player base of Classic in particular enjoys hurting the other faction. Alliance scum, Horde bastards, you name it. There's an insult, there's a word, undead piece of shit, gnome rat, paladin cuck, shaman beta. Whatever you think of, whatever class you pick, there is a name and an insult for that class race combo. And that's just how the Classic player base is. And that's not a bad thing necessarily. The problem though becomes, in the Blackrock Eruption event itself, people can't even get into Blackrock depths. Now I should clarify here, this is mainly a PvP server problem. On a PvE server, it doesn't matter. It's not a problem for you. It's not a big deal. You can just dally along, play in the flower fields, high five the Horde and Alliance player, depending on what faction you're on, walk hand in hand, have a pick. But on PvP servers, the cancer is real, and it's not stage 1 anymore. We've hit stage 4, and it's bad. Now, there's no good solution. You put PvP in a dense location, a hotspot where people want to be. People are going to PvP there, especially with a 300% honor gain. It's over. And I don't know what the devs can do to fix this aside from just removing the honor gain, but people aren't going to leave. They're going to sit there and still camp because so many people are doing BRD, they're doing LBRS, they're doing UBRS. Especially when Molten Core comes out in a week and a half, there's going to be ginormous gang squads holding every part of the mountain hostage. It's only going to get worse. And honestly, there's a lot of upset people. You can look at my comment section, you can look at any other content creators comment section, look at Reddit, look at Twitter, look at Discord, look at the forums. People are upset. Now, if you're a Horde like I am, it's an easier time for you as a player. As a Horde player, my faction, especially on Crusader Strike NA, controls the map. There's Alliance gang squads here and there, but for the most part, Horde is dominating, and that cannot be fun for the Alliance player base. So I don't know what the devs should do, but there does need to be a fix with this problem in particular, because I don't want Crusader Strike NA to be a 99% Horde server, because all the Alliance are run off. And I'm not saying that's what's happening, but these problems are a trickle effect. Once a couple people start leaving, it's a whole blown out withdrawal. Everybody's gone, and then it's just us. The whole world is red. And that sounds like communism, and this is America. So moving on to more fun, happy, playful topics, we are going to be discussing the new Undermine real currency and how good it has been for the game. In Phase 3, we had Wild Offerings, which were a good system, but fell a bit short. So Phase 4, we get the Tarnished Undermine Real, which made the world alive and thriving. There are people running Scholarman, Stratholm, LBRS, UBRS, Diamol, every dungeon on clockwork, on cooldown, getting their daily reels. And honestly, if it was just gear, or just your flask, or just some of the cool rewards you could get from the Undermine vendor, it wouldn't be that popular. People would get their stuff and they would stop. The reason why this is such a good thing is the Undermine supply crate It's probably one of the smartest things Blizzard has done because it incentivizes people to keep running dungeons every single day. Why, you ask? Because the goddamn rewards from those chests are amazing. 5 tokens, 5 boss kills over 55, and you have the chance at Black Lotus, Arcane Crystals, Endgame rewards, Fire Water, anything you could think of that is a higher quality profession, herbalism, whatever rewards you can get out of these crates. And that has made the market invigorated, excited. People are actually going out of their way to do as many dungeons as they can per day. This could lead to some burnout potentially. I don't want to speak factually as to what is going to happen, but something's going to happen. People are going to start cooking, getting burnt out, and leaving. But we have weeks before that, especially with the world bosses coming soon and then Molten Core coming soon after. But on top of that, the open world itself is thriving. People are all across the world grinding. Some people are in Winter Spring, some people are in Teneris, some people are in Eastern Plaguelands. Wherever there is a farm, wherever there is a gold method to be on, wherever there is herbalism to be done, people are going and doing their professions. They're doing their grinding for reputations. They're just questing. People are actually enjoying the world more than, like I said before, any phase except phase 1. Again, we're not going to discuss phase 2 and phase 3. Those are the sod quotation marks Dark Ages. We move on. The Dark Ages are done. We're free. It's a golden era all over again. And that's why the video's title is as clickbaity as it is. It's time to come back. Because honestly, it genuinely truly is. Honestly though, I don't know if I'm going to run on a PvP server next season. Because shit's getting pretty toxic. The min-max culture just across the board. And talking about PvP, Alterac Valley is in full swing. People are grinding it, enjoying it. And Van currently has the same health as he did in baseline, vanilla, and classic. Which means Alterac Valley games take about 6 minutes because you can just completely ignore all the bunkers and just kill Van inside his base without having to cap any goddamn bunkers at all. Now, this is probably going to get nerfed. They're probably going to double or triple Van's health, so you actually have to cap the bunkers. But until they do that, 6-minute AV games, 3,000 to 4,000 honor per 6 minutes, depending on the queue times. It's a good time, it's fun, we're all having a goddamn blast. Nobody's queuing Warthog Ultra AB. Those are dead, at least for another week or two. They'll come back though. And talking about things that are new to the game, we have the new rune, especially the ring and the cloak slot. Now I covered that briefly at the beginning of the video, but the ring slots are amazing. 6% hit for arcane and nature, just having defense specialization, feral combat, just things of that nature. They're really good for the game. Again, Classic has a big problem in the sense that most classes are broken and just aren't very good. But now in Season of Discovery, every class is good. Certain classes are much better than other classes. I might do a tier list at some point, but right now there's no tier list. Hunter is disgustingly strong. Rogue keeps getting nerfed. Druid is popping off. People across the board are just having a good time. I can't wait to see who gets nerfed so I can read the complaining on the forum saying my nerf was not justified. The runes are good. The gameplay is good. Class balance is meh. I'm going to give it a solid 7 out of 10. The new runes, 9 out of 10. Good job on this particular front right here, Blizzard. At least as of now. When this video comes out, that may be outdated already. And on top of that, one final little addendum. Paladins having their own little squire. I'm really happy for Paladins. That's really cool. I hope in phase 5 and onward they add little paladin squires for other classes. For example, Druid's getting a little tree ant, Hunter's getting an extra little pet, and things of that nature. It would just be cool. I think it would make an enjoyable element of the game, make PvP a bit spicier, and just make the game feel a little more alive and interesting. And the final point of this video is community and guild. Now, a lot of people's guilds died in phase 3 and the lead up to phase 3, but coming into phase 4, guilds are coming back, people are recruiting, guilds are starting to pop back off once again. Sure, certain people are unhappy because their guild, their friend group is gone. But this is an MMO, and as much as it sucks for me to say, it's time to move on and find a new family and friend group to play with. That's not what you want to hear, but not every single person's guild was going to come back. So those that did come back to the game and are alone, there are so many people recruiting, please try to find a guild. The game world is actually amazing now, and I can't wait to see what happens in the coming phases and the upcoming seasons coming after Discovery. There is so much hope, so much fun in the classic ecosystem. I'm having an amazing goddamn time, and I hope everybody else does as well. Also, this is to Microsoft, where's Classic Fresh and where's Classic Plus? You make hundreds of billions, cut a little check to the dev team, let them cook. And thank you everybody for watching. This was Ebonheart. You guys have a fantastic morning, afternoon, and evening. I love you all. Ebonheart out.